Ships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
What are you doing up? My name's Jason. This is Rob.
What's up, everybody?
Our friend Max should be here shortly. We just watched Star Wars Visions into the middle of the night. Pretty normal hours for you, which used to be my normal hours.
These are Jim Cameron hours. All right?
Yeah.
Only me and James Cameron. We're up late at night working.
And there's Max. And then so right now, can you hear us, Max? We can't hear you, Max. Unfortunately, we can't hear you yet. But just go ahead and I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're coming in. You're coming in clear.
Clear. I don't have my air conditioner on because it's loud and I'm sweating.
So if it gets too hot, just turn it on. Just gotta do what you gotta do.
All right.
You know? I mean, all these people, any of these people watching, they could just deal with it.
Just make sure it's louder than any fan ever made. Like that would be the best.
Yeah.
Every time we used to do our podcast, we always had to turn it off because it was really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta roll with it. I mean, it's like it's 2:48 in the morning. What time is it for you?
4:48 right now.
Jeez, if you at some point are like, I gotta crash.
No, I'm fine.
Okay,
Max falls asleep on air.
And I had some wine too, so I'm good.
Party.
That's an upper.
Yeah, right. Dude, actually, whenever I drink, I get insomnia. That shit keeps me awake for whatever reason. It kind of
does too. Do you like my my thing?
Oh, it's pretty fancy.
It's my the dual trooper or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah. So we stayed up all night watching American, Japanese, Star Wars. That's not Star Wars cartoons. That's
Admit
cool.
It's just like Sci-Fi Channel 1992. We're all up late. We're watching Robot Carnival, Vampire Hunter D, and we're waiting for that Ninja Scroll because that's where the good stuff is.
Yeah, Eon Flux on when they used to have liquid television.
Liquid television.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's like, I guess, should we just do this like kind of in order? Should we just kind of like, because I mean, it's like, I'll be honest, like there was some points tonight where I started to fade a little bit. I was like,
really?
I'm getting a little bit tired. And so I went and ran and I put some coffee on, and instead of it waking me up, I just got itchy between my fingers, which happens sometimes whenever I drink too much caffeine. It didn't wake me up though. But anyways, I did like it though. I overall I liked it. But I will say it was exactly what I expected. It didn't go above what I thought it would, and for the most part, it didn't go below. But I'm satisfied with it. Were you, Max? Were you satisfied? Did it hit the sweet spot for you or no?
For me, it did because actually I liked all of them, except there were two that kind of were not my. It never fails. Every time I always did a podcast, my cat starts scratching on the door. I'm sorry.
Because it wants to get on the show and be the.
They were sleeping.
Oh yeah,
they were sleeping.
It's fine.
No,
yeah,
so I was good with all of them. The twins didn't do it for me. It seemed that there was a lot of. The dialogue and the exposition was a little bit too much for me. Like I thought that if there was less explanation, it would have been fine. And actually, because of what was the other one that was Lapan Ocho, Cinco Seis Siete Ocho,
BB Ocho.
Yeah, that one seemed to be better at explaining like family or a brother and sister or sibling
Yeah.
type of thing. So it was that one, and Tatooine Rhapsody. I'm sorry, like it was cute. It was just,
Have a soul. It was amazing.
I
I
mean,
never thought I'd
It
get
worked
to
for you?
see. Oh,
did
I
you like
loved
it?
it. Come on. If you
Okay.
come on, if you not have Jabba's wagging
No.
his tail. Come on.
Emo
I was
the
like,
Hutt.
Come on, Jason, you're a band guy. You gotta like they use
No.
music to save the day. And like we got to see
Okay.
Boonta Eve again. Like
I liked it. I liked it. I just I liked it. It
Yeah.
was just
Yeah. So overall, how about you, Rob? Overall visions, did it work for you,
yeah, it's
or
amazing.
it's
Yeah.
amazing? Okay.
Well, the thing is okay. So one, we've seen a few of these anthologies before, right? So we're gonna go back to Animatrix, right? Batman, Gotham Knights. If you remember that one, after Batman Begins, there was a anime anthology.
Mhm.
That one stuck more to like Batman lore, and Animatrix was a little bit more, some tied into the movie, others sort of were their own thing. This falls more into their own thing,
Right.
which I really like because we're getting we're not getting the same thing over and over again. This isn't like, oh, the Bad Batch crew now made something that looks like anime, right? Which we kind of saw with Resistance. Like you're seeing literally different people's interpretations of this
Yeah.
stuff, in ways that some of it we've seen before, like take a shot anytime someone says I have a bad feeling about this or a kyber crystal, right? It's like each studio had their own ideas, but then when you see them together, right? Like especially watching it straight through, you're like, oh, it's the same thing over and over again. But then I hear Lucas going, it's like a poem. The standout ones for me was the Ninth Jedi. I think easily could have been the Force Awakens.
that
Like
was
that
good.
easily could have been Rey, and the Jedi that was hiding could have been Luke. Like that could have been like the call to Jedi to draw out the Sith to start a
Mm.
new to find out who your enemies are. It's fantastic setup that went in
Yeah.
ways I didn't, and they have to do these within 20 minutes. So I could have easily watched another hour of it. The Tatooine Rhapsody is something I never thought I'd see, and I thought, oh, they're gonna is that a flamethrower, or are they gonna put a blaster on the guitar? They're gonna fight their way out, but they didn't. They used music, which is a very. I think George would have enjoyed that one the most. Like if I had to guess,
It was cute. It was very
yeah.
cute.
The
I liked
one that
it.
the one that I think just didn't have enough time was so two. One, the one after it's the two trigger ones, the bride. It's just like there's not like the exposition there is hard to understand the
I
world.
liked that one.
I liked it. I just think it needed better exposition to know what was going on. Like, why is she wearing a mask? Is it to cover the little scar, or was there something else? Like, there was just something else there that I was like, all right. Remember, Jason, you were reading that breakdown. That was
Mhm.
it. Dan Brown, Dave Brown, the Brown.
The F
Dan
girl.
Brooks.
She's
Yeah,
an
it was-
F girl, right?
I thought
F
it
the
was the
bride.
Da Vinci Code cat,
Yeah,
but I was
F
like,
the
no,
bride.
it's not.
Oh, well,
Right,
let's just like hit them all like in
Yeah.
order. We'll just
Let's go in
like go down the list, and then so the duel, like up front,
Oh my
that
god.
was beautiful. It was really
So
really
beautiful.
really 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 good looking. I've never watched. I don't think I've watched anime in black and white like that. Is that a very common thing? Is that a very
Yeah,
common look?
they did one on the Animatrix as well that was in black and white with
I don't
the
remember
Sin
it.
City pop colors. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a matter of fact, it's a fantastic one because it's like a noir with all that
Mhm.
film grain, and it has like a Brazil feel where like the computers have like old fat like 30s typewriter keys, and I was like,
Mhm.
this could have easily been the feel of a whole series. So
Right.
yeah, that's sort of it. And the droid with the Big Trouble Little China hat, the three storms, right? Like that was love
That
it.
was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked how they introduced the little like diodes and neon lights against the black and white, and then when the sabers come in, then you're like, oh, it's even more vibrant. Like I thought that was a pretty cool touch to it. And I do think if I well, I all of the styles are so different. So I'm not sure if I would say one is better than the other when it's apples and oranges, but it did start super visually strong.
That was that was a great one to start off with, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it was really well done. But I will also say that in terms of like what happened now in that one, I'm a little bit like, what did happen in that one?
Well,
Like, I
it's
need to watch it
Yojimbo.
again. Mhm.
So I mean, and I'm not jumping ahead, but I just say
Mhm.
I felt because I was like, I almost wish like in the animations they bookended that initially, like the first story and the last story kind of synced together, and I
Yeah,
was like, is that happening here in this? And it did only in that the first is an homage to Yojimbo and the last is an homage to the Hidden Fortress. Like, and I think it's if you know the films pretty well, like you can see those character types in both, you know. So this
right.
is Yojimbo where the lead character you don't know is he good or bad, and he's sort of neither, right?
Yeah,
And that is Yojimbo who walks into town recklessly and will only get involved when it's like absolutely, you know, to his benefit or to whatever. I mean, this is a little bit more heroic in some sense, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. You don't have that much time for him to lollygag around when it's 20 minutes long.
Right. Right.
And then yeah. So then okay. So Tattooing Rhapsody. Here's the thing. Love the idea of it. Love that they did it. Love that it was ridiculous. But I will say it could have went further. That was my problem with it. And in terms of being a rock opera, it qualifies, but it could have leaned in even harder on it. The actual like it was just more like throwing a couple of tropes out at the screen of rock on and do you know what I mean, and here's some hammer-ons, and it's like cool, and I'm glad they like did it, but that was the one I was actually looking forward to the most. So I think it's the one that let me down the most at the same time. And I expected it to be more musical. I thought it was actually
Me
going to
too.
be. I thought it was going to be more singy. I thought it was going to be straight up like an actual like musical through the episode and not just have music moments. But rock opera, I get it. You know,
That would have been a good one that was a little bit longer, I think.
yeah. If
Because I
it
don't know.
had
I mean,
more time to develop almost a chorus to it, because that's the other
yeah.
thing about it is I don't remember the music whatsoever.
Hmm.
You know, yeah. But
It's a fair assessment. Yeah.
but the Jabba moment that you pointed out, that was good. You're like, okay, Jabba's on board. It was like the old trope of the the Billy Elliot wants to dance or the kid wants to sing or whatever, and then the dad's like no, but then you see him tapping his foot, and now he's changed the world through the power of song and dance.
He was
This is
tapping his tail.
this is the one I thought Trigger probably should have done because
Mhm.
they would have. If you ever seen like the Endiger and Logan or Kill La Kill, like it gets bigger and bigger and like to the point where like it escalates so big. And with the rock opera, I think that would have been something that like they could have when they're blasting that like they could have unfolded like a holographic band that took over the universe. That's like and they're singing all the planets and it's way over the top. Like they could have. But I do like that it's also like I guess it's fairly realistic. I guess they would have played on in Boonta Eve and they like
Well, I my favorite thing from it probably was the idea that there was a kid that was a Padawan. Order 66 happens, and instead of becoming Cal Kestis or whatever, he's like, oh, I just want to start a band. Like, that's pretty fucking hilarious, like by itself. I did appreciate that part. That was yeah, and it might be one of those things where I watch it again and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember all of this, all the music. I just watched it at midnight and it didn't hit because I was tired or something like that. But yeah, So yeah, then the next one. Or does anybody else have any thoughts on that one, or should we go on to the next one?
I just think it
Well-
was cute.
Yeah, yeah. That's at the end of the day, it's hard to fault it because it's cute. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
my
It's cute and fun.
mental note for the story was rather than being hunted by Jabba, it could be like we're a band, but damn it, there's the intergalactic war and nobody wants a party.
Mhm.
Like, how do you make money in the middle of World War II? Like so we
Yeah.
got to play to the gangsters and they get themselves into trouble. Like it's just, so
All right. So then we had the twins. And yeah, and then so Max, you were saying twins didn't work that well for you, right?
Okay, so I saw Kill a Kill,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was already expecting the like over the top action sequences and stuff like that. And I know that I heard, well, actually from seeing, they kind of defied the being in outer space. You know what I'm talking about? And I was like,
Yeah,
okay, fine, whatever.
yeah.
It was, I think it went too fast for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they tried to explain a lot of things that didn't need to be explained. Um, I
Right.
don't want to say corny, but it was just, it was too, they explained things too much, I think. And they
Yeah.
probably didn't need to.
The
But it was
the
beautiful. It
evilness,
was beautiful.
the sister just, I mean, and once again, it really is playing into like anime tropes. And so,
And
and that's where I'm like, it's
and that
hard to
probably
fault
will
it.
work. You
Yeah.
know, and they'll probably like
Well, like it
that.
works in like Sailor Moon or something like that, where you're just like, oh,
Mm.
that's the mean girl. She's just mean
And
or
she has blonde
whatever.
hair.
Yeah, and she has blonde hair, so you know what that means. Bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
She's crazy.
No. But yeah, so no, it was like I enjoyed it, and when it was going into like the stuff in space, and it was like so over the top, I was like, yeah, this is why this isn't canon. And I was like, but I could see this being, a legend. I mean, I can, yeah, they were in the stars, and and all that kind of stuff. And like when you break it down into just like the bullet points of how it goes down, but that twin star destroyer thing, ridiculous. It's so dumb, I like it, but also so dumb. you know
I think it's as dumb as a million Star Destroyers that exist only for a trailer shot. And we wrap a whole movie around it. How about that, right?
they're under the ground, and then they pop
They've
out, and
just
they're
been
the
sitting
old
out
ones.
there with the Klingon for 50 years and they didn't do that. Oh, that's another movie. Never mind.
But what
Yeah,
should be your favorite?
yeah. But I also when I was watching it, I kept thinking about my kids, and I was like, well, it does look like my kids. I bet you they're gonna like this one because they're probably gonna relate to it. So yeah, and then I when we got to the Village Bride, that's where I
Hold on.
actually.
I just want to
Oh,
say
oh,
something about
oh,
that
sorry,
one.
yeah,
I'll wait my turn.
yeah.
So two things. One, the positive, uh, like with Trigger, they do things that you can only do in animation, which I think a cartoon should do. My complaint when I watch things like the DC animated films is they're pretty tame. They
Mm-hmm.
don't play to animation. They don't do things that animation can do. They just try to be serious stories that are animated. Like I want to see like you remember the opening to Batman 89 when Batman's on the roof and he's animated
Yeah,
and he moves in a way that no human can. That's what I love about animation.
I
yeah.
actually
So,
I did like that they were
yeah.
exaggerated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
My complaint, and I knew Trigger was going to do it, and it's weird because they didn't do it enough, and at time I don't like a lot of meta in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is like probably my biggest gripe with the Last Jedi, and it's funny because there's a Last Jedi shot, right? They put
Mm-hmm.
the Haldo maneuver shot in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's meta stuff in the Last Jedi a little bit, it's a little talking about Star Wars and Star Wars, and I'm like, when it comes to Star Wars, I don't like a lot of meta. Like if there's
Mhm.
things that rhyme and it's kind of whatever, fine. But when
So
it's specifically,
are you saying you shouldn't write a line like "You lost the Star War"
it's
or whatever?
it's as good as where you doing? We're gonna take the kyber crystal to a galaxy far, far away.
Okay, yeah.
I like that. I like
I
that.
like it, but that's enough. But then when you start going into meta, right? Like I don't know. Like it's one of those things where it's like, all right, fine, but it's a cartoon, so I accept that. Okay, they can breathe in space because they're Jedi, and the robot. I love the robot has a helmet, but
But they don't.
The people don't, and that's what I'm like. We would never do that in LA. Like
Yeah.
an LA studio would never conjure that visual that kind of joke up,
Yeah.
And it's intentional. And they're twins that have a twin Star Destroyer. They have this ridiculous cannon, and their suits are powered by the same thing, which is a nod to Kill la Kill. Like the suits are powered and they're kind of evil, you know. I just wish that the meta is that it's Luke and Leia, right? And it's sort of also a Rey and Kylo kind of thing too, in a way, you know, like it's doing that, but I don't think it's doing it enough for anyone to. I don't know. Like he ends up on Tatooine at the end, so it was fine. It just I wanted, I guess, more. You know, you want Trigger to be the best, and like, I don't think Trigger made the best one of these. Is that's it.
Well, it did seem that like Lucasfilm really liked that one because it was used a lot in the promotion. And the duel.
It's incredibly well animated. And I do like his helmet design.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that helmet where it's like a blend between like the Guyver and like JJ's Stormtrooper design. Like it was like a good design.
Whenever you see a moment in the original Star Wars movies where you don't see Darth Vader's legs, he's definitely wearing those shoes. He's definitely wearing
Tarkin's. Tarkin didn't have shoes on. He was in socks. Oh, and he had that's the first dual color lightsaber we've seen, right? It goes blue to pink, blue to red, or whatever. Like it's a sherbet. It's a Hawaiian ice saber, right?
Did it?
Like, yeah. It goes from red to blue, like it's vertically.
Oh,
so it's got two colors.
That.
Yeah. In the when they had one of the episodes, I think it was one of the later ones where when they grab the saber, if they're good, it turns to like that color. I think it was the one with the
ninth.
daughter.
It's the Ninth Jedi.
The Ninth Jedi. Yeah. Actually,
it was purple.
Yeah, I liked that. I thought that was
did
cool.
Too.
Yeah, I
really did.
I was kind of like in a way disappointed. I'm like, why didn't they do that in the movies?
I know.
That's my favorite one, by the way.
I really, really like that one too.
Yeah, one was good.
For sure.
Okay, so the Village Bride we were talking about, and that's the one where the Village Bride, the actual like score on that one is really good.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like movie quality. That was whoever scored that. I didn't get to like study the credits or anything like that. They should give them a Star Wars movie.
It was really good.
Yeah. And then the Ninth Jedi as well, and that's the next one, the 5th episode. The daughter of a lightsaber smith is pursued by dark forces. Yeah, that one could have been a movie.
Yeah, the thing is that I didn't think that I was gonna like these or those as much because they didn't like promote them as much.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw them, I was like, these are really good.
Mm-hmm.
I really got into them. Like,
yeah,
the music, everything was beautiful.
Well, I told Jason I was excited when I saw she had the 80s ponytail, right? The ponytail to the side. I'm like, oh, that's the one I gotta see. like I gotta see where they go with this. They're invoking the right kind of 80s for Rob. Like
Napoleon Dynamite's girlfriend as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Episode 9, the Ninth Jedi. Like, how great would that have been, right?
Yeah. I liked how it had that far out setting. Like, we don't have this stuff is lost, the lightsaber technology, and then the idea, the backstory of the dude who's making it, and then the twist that they were all Sith who showed up. What? You know, that's that stuff. It was fun, and the fact that it was 20 minutes or whatever it was, it made it all of that stuff like really like kind of like the moment you started to kind of get bored at all, it was like something just would turn it on its head, and so that's where I was like, that was the good side of it being a shorter format, a series of shorts, is the fact that how well that flowed and how quick it went.
Did the dad die? No, right?
The dad? Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he got
Wait,
murdered.
I thought they were gonna go find him.
No, they have him. Yeah, they have him.
Yeah, and then at the end they're like, oh, we're gonna go get him, and then but
she asked him. She asked if he'll help her, and he said, of course.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that was one of the questions that I had. Was I think it was that one, and maybe the final episode. Those seemed like they left room for more, right? They left like where they could do another round of these and continue the stories potentially anyway.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The what's the one with the sensei and his Padawan that fight the old
The Elder.
Yeah,
That was really
too.
good.
Yeah, that could easily be a whole series. Those two.
And that villain is an excellent villain. I think.
Yeah, they made a Gantz movie on Netflix that was like a CGI version of it, and they have an old dude just like him, and it's like it's the anime old dude but done in a very like realistic CGI form, and it is fucking nightmare fuel. And when I was watching that, I was like, oh man, if they took that dude and did what they did in the Gantz movie, that dude would be a fucking freaky dark sidey dude, in live
that's how I
action.
imagine Tor Valum when we're reading the Duel of Fates. Like that's the kind of like person who's not a Sith, but evil and teaches Sith, or like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah. So we had Ninth Jedi. Then this one I loved way more than I thought I was going to. It was one I thought was gonna be the dumb one, but that was the what
La Pinocha.
Toby.
I loved. Oh my god! I have a story to tell you.
2B1. Okay.
Yeah, I've been tagging the director in my posts and in his stories, and I'm like, oh my god, I hope he doesn't think that I'm like fangirling on him, which I am, because I love. I don't know. He was cute. Toby one, and the director is too.
Like,
excellent.
Yeah. No, I mean, but I liked how we got like it's too late for me to remember what it's called when you have a word that is another word that means something else. But the fact that they used the droid iteration of TOB1, and then Toby, and then Toby1, like the fact that they were able to do all three of those things with that one name was very creative. I have to give some credit on that.
So when I first saw the preview about Visions, you remember? And then they were going through all the different shorts.
Yeah,
I saw Toby one or whatever, and then they were talking about Astro Boy. I'd never seen Astro Boy, and then when I did see it, I was like, "This is a little fucking sad." In the beginning, like if you know how he comes to be, and then that they were going to do like a twist of, Star Wars with him as a character, and I thought that was it was cute. It was really cute.
So was that a retelling of Astro Boy in Star Wars iteration? Because as I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is Pinocchio. That's what I was thinking when I was watching.
I think it's a fusion of both, but yeah, it was pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
You know what's also a retelling of Astro Boy? Mega Man. Yeah, so yeah, for real. But I love Astro Boy. So this was amazing. It's my second favorite one. Just think it needed a little bit more length, right at the point where he creates life. Because before he got to that point, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. When the professor says, the Force, all living things, right? And then I'm like, are the droids alive? And then he should go like, are my friends not alive? But they love me, like this is a point to bring that, what is life? Like what has a soul? Does a machine have a soul? Which is an inherent Japanese theme, right? The ghost in the shell. And so when he creates life, I just would have liked that point where his resonance with the Force, when he really reaches out to it and experiences life, and he goes, I am alive. My friends are alive. That's what the Inquisitors experience, and they find him. Right?
Yeah.
Like it happens. It's just so compacted right there because they spent a lot of time in the front, wisely so, getting you to bond between him and the professor and those droids, which are amazing. That's the most Ghibli like sequence with those droids, are like the little kokiri, or the little, and also the kokiri, the forest spirits in Mononoke, and the little charcoal things in Spirited Away, right? So, but yeah, it was brilliant. I was like, this could be fleshed out just a little bit longer, and but other than that, I mean, it was fantastic.
I was rooting for the little fucker the whole time. That's what I was surprised about. Is I was just like, at first I was like, I hope this kid gets beat up on the bus when I first saw him, and then when I was watching, I was like, do it, man. You can be a Jedi. You just gotta believe.
I liked him.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good. That's probably one of the ones I would watch if I was just to put one on right now. I probably would watch that one again.
I'm gonna watch that one again because I think there were some things that I missed.
And the
Mhm.
professor
It did
doesn't
kinda-
have arms, right? Like he lost his arms, like they were cut off and stuff, right? If you
Did
look, he
he?
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have arms. Like he has little machines helping him. The robots are doing things, and his arms are in sleeves.
I just thought he had his
Like-
hands in his pants, but okay.
No,
I
he
guess-
just thought
doesn't
he
have-
was an old weirdo who made a little boy. That's what I thought, but I guess it's you read it one way, I read it another way. You know?
No, I got sad that he died.
Yeah, he had it coming though.
Marsha
You
made
know,
that
I'm just
decision.
kidding, okay.
You know, I didn't approve, but she was like, "Fuck it, kill him." You know. Yeah.
It was Marsha's idea.
Marsha. You know, she knows everything anyway. You know, what do I know?
Really quickly before I want to say hi to the chat really quickly because we will talk to you guys. We just wanted to get into it a bit, but Mr. $3 Theater, how's it going, dude? So I didn't watch Visions yet, but my God,
Oops.
man, you're up late. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it's Star Wars night, dude. Star Wars night. I saw you were streaming, and I was like, "Is he gonna watch Visions?" And I thought it was done. I thought you ended your stream to go watch Visions, and I was like, "Respect," but I get it though. We all have lives, except for us, except for me.
Star Wars
Look-
Santa's still making toys.
The Force
Couple more
told me
months.
it's like, what is life? You don't have one. That's what it told me. Hey, how's it going, AJ? AJ agrees with Rob that Tatooine Rhapsody was
Oh,
amazing.
that's good.
Eh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
This
then-
is what I want them to replace those Jedi bands at Disneyland with now. Just put that band out there.
oh right.
Like holographic anime playing, I'd watch. That'd be awesome.
James says, shame they're so short. Was hoping for 30-minute episodes. Yeah, I know what you mean. I would not. I was thinking about that as it was airing, and I was like, if this did come on weekly and they had been 30 minutes each, though, I think it would have driven people crazy. When it was like 1 week was like the black and white beautiful one that was like, wow, this is like Diet Kurosawa or something, and then you get to the next one when it's like Tatooine Rhapsody for the week, people would just be like, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? So it's like on one hand, I like that I think they did what they wanted to do within the I think they just made them as long as they needed to be for what they were aiming for.
So it was like what, 2 hours, right?
But yeah, it felt like 2.5 hours ish, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it might have been with credits.
I mean, I think it seemed almost like this was like a pilot,
Mhm.
for to throw it out there and see how people react to it or whatever.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
that was been my hope
anthology.
that the ones that stick will continue, right?
Mhm.
And the ones that don't, they just go, that was cool. And then, I also think because it's called Visions, that's not just limited to anime studios. If we got French studios, you got American studios, they got South Korean animation. Like
Mhm.
I would like to see animation all over the world. And even like if they could do it, like those CalArts students, I'm certain they could put together something that's totally different,
The
But
what?
this is, CalArts students, like
oh,
animation.
yeah.
They're they have those, whatever. But
Yeah.
this versus like a what if. Like I think calling it Visions is smarter than saying what if because then you're not stuck with just what if the characters you already know.
What if
Mhm.
it was just called what?
There was a book called that. I think it was
What?
like what or what the like just
Or-
question marks. Yeah.
Or huh?
Why? Star Wars. Why?
Mine's fart. Like, because I'm full of beans. Yeah.
Hello, James,
Uh,
my old Fortnite pal. And then Geek is just like $3. 350. 350. She says most of them surprised me. So that's
in a good way?
yeah, I would have to I hope so. I mean, I would have to think so. I mean, yeah.
Dude, none of
and-
these were horrible. Like, let's be
No,
honest.
they were good.
Yeah.
They were really good.
No,
And I was really afraid of that you would get something that like there was a few like on the Batman Gotham Knights one that I was like, this is not good.
mhm.
Like I remember that. Like this is
Star Wars Santa was Toby-One's master.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
He did look like Santa.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Star Wars Santa was was not happy about the Astro Boy thing. He was like, I just don't know about this, guys. And everybody's like,
come
"But
alive.
you're-"
If the toys come alive, I'll be out of business. Oh no.
if the toys do what they want, I'm finished.
First the elves unionize, now the toys. Redick.
But yeah, if they do a volume 2 and they just pick up a bunch of new stories and a couple of sequels, I'd be happy with that too. You know, if
I
that's
hope
what
I
yeah.
actually hope they do. I do.
Yeah.
I really like this. I would like more.
I want Ankama to do one so badly. You guys have no idea. If you're not familiar with Ankama's animation, Dofus Julith, Treasures of the Caribbean, Wakfu,
Where are
they're
they
over
from?
the top French. They're French. It's a French
French?
studio, but they've worked with a lot of. They've teamed up with a lot of Japanese animators on their projects, and their animation's phenomenal. But they have a lot of tongue-in-cheek sexual humor and fantasy stuff and Star Wars innuendo. But yeah, it's quite good. So that's like, if I could get a volume 2, I hope they do reach out to more worldwide studios. You know?
So I'm gonna say that this is my first time like really dealing with or learning about anime,
Mhm.
and I didn't know that there was like a lot of sex and stuff like that in anime.
Oh yeah.
So-
And
horror.
Google tentacles anime right now. Okay, done.
Wow.
Then do not watch the Goblin Slayer, I think it's called. Yeah, that's probably not the one you want to watch.
Do you- so when you were a kid, do you remember there was like an English animation called Simon, that chalk drawing Simon.
Oh,
And you know my name is Simon.
Oh yeah.
And can you imagine if they do that with Star Wars?
And then when this Jedi
Good
bites
joke.
into a banana,
watch
he
it.
becomes right Banana Jedi, right? Like, or Danger Mouse, right? It's Danger Gonk.
Danger
It's Danger
Mouse, yeah.
Gonk, right? It's
Yeah.
the, Gonk, who's a secret agent.
AJ says Star Wars anime. Why didn't we just get 2D Clone Wars Macro Series continuation? You know, it's funny that you said that, AJ, because as I was watching this, I was like, this, I felt like elevated that niche that the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars kind of held for us. It was like that one thing where it was a different animation style outside of canon, and but was taking itself seriously as it was doing for the most part. And then I was like, well, you know, this is like more of that. And I started to wonder if this would end up being put, when it's not new, into that same category on Disney Plus as the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars stuff and that jazz. Probably won't, because it's so much more expensive. But
He just won some awards for Primal. If you haven't seen Primal, quite
Mhm.
amazing, stunning piece of 2D animation about a caveman and a dinosaur. And it's very violent. All 2D. And, you know, again, volume 2, get Genndy back. Let him do whatever he wants. Doesn't have to look like the Clone Wars, you know?
did you ever hear about kind of like what happened with him? Like,
No.
well, I mean, it's not like a big story. He talked about it, but he was just like,
Wasn't he pissed off?
well, yeah. I mean, or at least disappointed. He was like, he did the Clone Wars micro series. He thought he was told and was prepped for continuing on to do the Clone Wars as a main series, and they just
Wow.
didn't say anything. Then he just, here's that Dave Filoni's the dude, and yeah.
Wow.
I bet you
mean-
Genndy wasn't a happy camper at that premiere.
Gotta be pretty frustrating. But I mean, what's frustrating or disappointing about it to me is that Genndy is capable. It's like it's a shame that we haven't had him in Star Wars for 20 years now. Really, when you get down to it, we're right about the 20-year mark since that shit started coming out, anyways.
Mhm.
And yeah, because he has a lot more to offer than what he's had a chance to do, I think.
His
Star Wars especially, but
his canceled Popeye movie is still breaks my heart. If you haven't
And
seen
Labyrinth,
you haven't
too.
seen it, yeah. Oh, he was
I
doing
think-
Labyrinth.
wait, he was doing Dark Crystal.
Don't break my. Oh, he was doing Dark Crystal.
He was doing Dark Crystal at one point.
I like the
Animated?
Dark Crystal series, but yeah, Genndy,
Yeah.
that would have been amazing.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, at one
Wow.
point he was gonna be the Dark Crystal guy. Like he kept getting like these things, and then they just didn't happen. And it's
Why is he not at Pixar? I don't understand. Like maybe he's difficult to work with. You know,
he
like
looks. I mean, he looks cool. Like he looks like you don't want to hang out with him. Like he wouldn't wear a fucking Hawaiian shirt because your fucking boss wants to tickle your butt if you do. So he seems cooler than
Right.
that.
I mean,
Like
Pixar now, not the old misogynistic Hawaiian shirt wearing Cars 2 Pixar. Right? Like, all
no,
right, I'm talking about the
yeah.
Luca
I mean,
Pixar. All
I,
right.
I have no idea. I have no idea. But he seems like he would be like, yeah, you guys want to go to Vegas and fucking party? Let's do it, and I'll draw on the way. The other guy,
Man's Gold's driving.
Mangold he's in the sidecar. And Mangold has the goggles and the motorcycle, and they're going.
So
I
he's
have
like,
to
"Could
say-
go ahead.
Do you remember? Well, watching those, they were what 3 minutes? Remember, weren't they
The
The
Clone
original
Wars?
micro
the
series,
shorts? Yeah,
yeah, they were like
5
3 minutes,
minutes.
and then the second
It was-
season they were longer form. They're
yeah.
a
It was
little bit
annoying to
longer.
watch those though, because I would like come home and watch. I would
Yeah,
go home to watch 3 minutes.
to watch 3 minutes.
Yeah, I would set my VCR though.
Yeah, same.
George
Right.
is like, I made you go see a 30-second trailer for Attack of the
It's like-
Clones, remember?
It's like you fuck ass.
Yeah, all he did was breathe. I ASMR'd you.
Yeah. It was I remember, I think it was that, yeah, Celebration 3. It was kind of rad though, because they put them all together in one go, and you could watch them in the theater theatrically.
Yeah, I have a Digital Man's a fan editor from years ago. He put together, and I have it, a really good Clone Wars where he put them in chronological with the crawl, and so it's one long animated movie. Works brilliantly. There's just no
Yeah, I watched
all
it on
work.
YouTube one time.
Yeah, and so there's no reason why they can't now. It's so weird, you know.
Yeah, I feel that way about the original, about the Dave Filoni Clone Wars. Most of or not most of those, but a lot of them have actual film edits, and like the Ahsoka arc is edited as a film, scored, by a symphony in Prague. Why
So-
aren't those versions on Disney?
So
Plus
something I
now?
forgot to
Need that.
mention so far about this was that clone. This was all in 235, right? This series.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was in 235. It's Cinescope. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Clone Wars was in 235 in Europe. So if you get the PAL version, because the American version cuts off the sides. I don't know if on Disney Plus, I haven't watched it, but I remember I had to get the PAL versions before when I was starting to watch the Clone Wars. I'm like, I'll watch it. 235, great. I'm like, I just don't like the cartoon. Damn it. But I was surprised by the aspect ratio of this too. Like I was really, really, really like that aspect ratio on a nice big TV. So
Yeah, I had them downloaded from Sky. I think it was some a British channel called Sky or something like that, and
Yeah,
it had
Sky.
that was how I got them in the correct aspect ratio, and I think 1080p when they weren't even being shown like that way here back then. There were Cartoon Network didn't give a fuck. Yeah, so then we had the Elder, a Jedi and his Padawan pursue a dark and powerful presence, and that's where we got that weird old fucker. It was
That was good.
entertaining. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
the most
And he was doing this too, like with the
Hey,
kid.
look,
I was
talking
laughing.
without speaking,
Right.
you know. It's very good.
Yeah, and he gets the I actually thought the Jedi kid was gonna be. I thought I was gonna like him more based off on the write up, but I didn't dislike him. I was just kind of like, these guys are kind of dry. I like the old man better than the Jedi in the episode. I thought he was hilarious.
He sounded like Kylo Ren a little bit. I mean, like Adam Driver.
Hmm.
At least in the trailer, he did.
Yeah.
What I like is there's a
Hear
little
it.
bit of a moral at the end, right? There is a lesson learned. Like he learned,
Don't be an
look,
asshole.
Don't be an asshole, and don't think life is forever. Like you're not going to be powerful. Power it ages and it goes and it flows up and down. You know what I mean? And so what you are today is not what you'll be tomorrow, and what you are, and for good and for bad. So like that's what's not in the sequel. Like I need, and to an extent, not in a lot of the prequels. There's the closest is Liam Neeson's. Like he's pulling the Liam Neeson's right there. Looks a little Liam Neeson's-y too. You know, where he's giving him that advice. I'm like,
He
maybe
had really
if
good
Liam
hair
Neeson-
too.
Yeah. Like if
Did
Liam
you-
Neeson had taken Kitster around the galaxy, this is what he'd be doing, right? He was the better trainee than Anakin.
I actually laughed when he's like, Master, do you think someday I'm gonna get more powerful? And he's like, maybe. Who knows? Kind of an idiot. I don't know. I doubt it.
Subscribe to my Patreon and you'll find out, kid. You know? I paywall that advice.
He's all,
The humor in that was good though. It was like
Yeah.
subtle,
yeah.
and I chuckled.
I like the kids watching the Padawan throughout it too, like in those moments was good, like when they go up the mountain and stuff.
Very Miyazaki like.
Who? I'm kidding.
The one guy not involved.
Yeah, so Lop and Ocho, a family is torn about what to do when the Empire encroaches on their planet.
I liked that one. I didn't think I was going to, but I really did. And then I know I've kind of watched some other people's like reviews. Her being a rabbit or whatever, like bothered them, and I'm like, the fuck, are you serious?
They're watching the wrong series. It's
Like,
an
who
8-foot
cares?
dog
Like-
in the first Star Wars movie. I don't know if anyone's
Right?
noticed.
And the story was deep. You know, oh, and I have a little makeup thing. Okay, so Ocho, I didn't realize was an asshole. But do you remember when she like does this thing with her eyes?
Yeah.
The blood.
I started doing that with my eyelash, with my makeup. I'm serious.
So
After that, I was like,
does that mean you're about to cut a fool? Like if I see you do
so
that, should I
that's why
run?
I'm laughing. Like you're
I'm
going.
gonna join the
you're going
Empire.
I'm like, wait, do it right now. Oh shit!
You killed him. See?
Oh,
no
no.
one can stop the
There you
stream.
are.
Now I'm on the wrong side. I'm looking over here at the chat.
No, you used your force. You force ran really quick.
I don't-
On the other side of the.
I won't look at Max. I don't want to make eye contact and get
So
hurt.
now I'm gonna like fight a bunny. Bunny.
I like
foo-foo.
how the Empire has black lipstick available at all times. 'Cause when she meets up with her at the end, she's already got her lipstick. I'm like, all right, like you know,
and great shoes. Great shoes.
Empire
and-
knows how to
Yes,
accessorize.
Yes, she did have good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I guess you just take it as like, man, people grow up to suck or something like that. But I was like, when she's like a little kid, she's like, hey, you could join our family. I don't listen to my dad. I do whatever I want. The dad's like, damn it, don't feed the homeless. And then he's like, no, I got to feed the homeless. But then it's like 20 years later and she's like, oh, fuck all you guys. I'm evil now.
Well, actually, her rationing, and this is where I like about it. Her rationing is, yeah, I still want to feed the homeless, but the only way to do that is to join the Empire because they're the only one with the food and money. And he's like, no, you're not joining the Empire. You're being acquired by the Empire. Like, no, you don't get it. We're all gonna starve without it. Like, it really provides a real moral quandary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like a good villain. She's doing the right thing for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like her right thing is she's trying to save her family and her planet. Her means to do that is to then betray her family and her planet, right? Like
no, and that's where
And
like
take out his eye.
and to look fantastic the whole time.
take out his eye. He looked fantastic. No, but that's when she like starts telling her sister that she's not family. That's where I was just like,
That
that's
was-
where
That was
that's where-
rude.
that was pretty much just her being an asshole at that point.
That was seriously. It was like having like an adopted child or family member, and then pulling that shit like, oh, you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm adopted. I know what
she
that's
was-
like.
She was a dick for saying that.
I've heard that a few times. You don't look like us.
Fuck Ocho.
Well, my family was Hispanic, and guess who was the only white guy? I got a few of those. Look at burrito. That's what they used to call me. It was like, because you're white on the outside, but
They used to call me a coconut when I was
yeah,
younger because I'm Hispanic and
it's people got really rude things to say, and I felt that worked really well for the story. I like that the lead chick is an alien little furry creature because I think
I did too.
that's something George would definitely do.
She
wouldn't
didn't
do
act
that.
stupid. You know what I
No.
mean? Like it was deep. So that's why I liked it.
I also think her moves, she has a move set. I was like, this would make a great video game because she's got the umbrella so she can run around, she can
And
do
she
the
fucking
parkour,
she flew with her
yeah,
umbrella.
and she knows how to take a hard landing. Like she grabs she's got a little Assassin's Creed going on there.
Well, while we're the umbrella thing, in the other episode, we had the lightsaber that goes into the umbrella that then shoots out an umbrella of
It's
lightsabers.
ridiculously fantastic.
I
Yeah.
loved it. I
I was
remember
on
that.
board.
I remember that you didn't like the Rebels version of that. I
Oh, the
remember like
helicopter lightsabers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
helicopter lightsabers suck.
I
Lightsaber
liked it,
umbrellas. Lightsaber umbrellas is where it's at.
It was cool.
You know, like I hope we get the Obi-Wan series. Those Inquisitor ships that are in the Obi-Wan series, they were in
Mhm.
this. That was cool. But I hope you think they're going to do lightsaber copters. They do lightsaber umbrellas. Rain
Kenner's
can't
like,
touch 'em.
we're back, baby. We're back. That's the ticket.
We're back in business.
Like Bannon from Seinfeld. It's the best.
So, and then the final episode,
Okay,
a
kitty.
Jedi, a Jedi returns to his forbidden love to help defend her kingdom from his Sith-like shogun. And I feel like I have to watch that. I feel like I have to watch that one again. I feel like as I was watching it, I started just to lose. Did you guys think that was a good capstone to it?
I liked it.
Yeah, because I don't.
I was
think
actually
gave it a fair watch.
I was kind of I was in a rush to like join this.
Yeah,
And my Disney Plus paused a few times, so that's why I was.
All those nerds were just because we're all watching it, like
You know.
or DDoS in their site at 2 a.m.
yeah, that's definitely the one I have to watch again because
It's
that's
good.
where I was like, I am tired. This
It's good.
coffee's not kicking in. I'm
The
tired.
setup is a little hard. It's a little hard to follow at first. So if you're half tired, I get it. I love two things. One, I remember right before the episode started, I texted you. I'm like, hey, I'm starting episode 9. So I went and made some coffee, And then I'm like, the only thing this is missing is a French animation studio. I'd like a little bit of that Mobius style or some of that Frenchy kind of like the simplistic fate. They have a certain design style. And then I get to this, I'm like, here we go. Like this is totally French studio-esque. And
then you looked down at your coffee and you said espresso. I bet Jason calls it espresso. That fucking idiot.
No, but I do now. And I will forever. And I love the two guys that are basically the idiots from Hidden Fortress.
Yeah,
Like, they're fantastic.
The bureaucrats that R2 and 3PO are based on. They pretty much straight up said, "Hey, here they are,"
and they're animated so well. Like they're animated so well. Like
yeah, you know, like, and not to jump too far or beyond the episode, but one of the things I think that I would have liked out of this batch, if I had to critique it, was it would have been kind of neat to have seen them deal with established Star Wars in one episode, like Obi-Wan
maybe
Kenobi,
the last one,
like Obi-Wan Kenobi or something like that, like an established character in that genre. But the fact that they didn't is fine. If I could have had every wish, for this first anthology, that would have
or
been
like the animatrix, the lead into the Book of Boba or the next series or something, but in animation form, right? Like because the animatrix kind of started and ended on setting up the Matrix too, right? Now people go, well, the Matrix do suck, but we didn't. I'm not having that argument. I'm just saying it's pretty clever to do that. But they didn't.
To jump back to Duel Rhapsody, that was one of my other critiques. Was I thought we were going to have Tamara Morrison singing. I thought we were going to see Boba Fett singing, and I wanted that. I wanted to see everybody get mad about it. I wanted to see everybody take Star Wars way too seriously and get angry about it. I wanted that troll to happen, and it didn't.
I thought they were going to put Daft Punk in Star Wars. Remember that Daft Punk commercial with Snoop Dogg?
They should have put more music in that, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they marketed it as like a music, whatever, like
a rock opera, but it definitely had the
yeah.
impression it was going to be more of
But I will say that his caring for Emo the Hut was really, it was strong. Like he was really upset. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry. I didn't know y'all were that close, but
He has a lightsaber microphone. He's just
yeah.
that kind of guy.
I
He
like
was a
that as-
Jedi, right?
Yeah, he was a Padawan, and then, or I guess Order 66 happens, and he has to go start a band.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was cute. I'm gonna watch it again just to kind of.
Well, I mean, on like a total like serious note, like I do think like with Star Wars Rebels, we saw Sabine using tagging. Like we're showing like how tagging is a source of resistance. You know what I mean, to a dominant power structure, and even more so than painting, or I mean not painting, but tagging, I should say, is music like punk rock and things like that. There is actually like a story that I think this thing tapped into or proved could happen in Star Wars that could be very good. I mean, you would probably have some pretty rad Star Wars punk bands during the Darth Vader years. That's all I'm going to say. There's
the Guar
definitely
of the Star Wars universe, right?
no. I was thinking like a Dead Kennedys and a Sex
okay.
Pistols. Not what would a Guar
Puppets.
be?
I just think of puppets,
Guar,
man.
Guar Star Wars would be like giant Ewok heads on.
Oh, you gotta look. When I saw Return of the Jedi, I'm like, why does the blue guy look like beefy ravioli? You know what I mean? Or beefaroni? Remember? Yeah, Chef Boyardee beefy beefaroni.
Oh, he's
got the beefaroni nose.
Did
right?
you?
Like,
did you?
Who the blue guy, the one that played the
Max
keyboard?
Rebo.
Yeah, he reminded me of a penis. No,
it's too
when I
young
was a
for
kid, I was
that.
like, well, he looked like a penis.
I think of everything in food. You gotta understand, like that's just how.
Do you remember how there used to be like a fish stick company and had like a guy in like a yellow with like a rain cap on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember being about 4 years old and putting together that fish stick sounds like fish dick, and then I looked at the guy in the rain cap and I'm like, that looks like my penis.
Yeah, he's Dick.
Yeah,
That's the fish Dick. He catches all the fish. Like,
but did you guys know that Max Rebo doesn't have two legs? He's like a slug kind of character, the way that he was like designed. And then Kenner made him, and when Kenner made him, they gave him two little feet because they didn't know. And then Clone Wars gave him two little feet, and now it's just this big weird thing where sometimes he has 2 feet, sometimes he don't.
That's interesting.
That's the world that we live in today.
Have you did? So I know on the t-shirts for Tatooine Rhapsody, there's that one where the characters from the cantina with the bald head, the big eyes, they're looking at a hologram of them, and they're kind of like looking down. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, they're in the cantina watching it.
Yeah, and then they kind of like have this look on their face, like, oh, they're better than us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just thought
or shit, someone just invented rock and roll. The way I took it was that moment. It was almost like in Back to the Future when Marty like starts playing, Johnny Be Good out there. Like they're looking like, oh, I guess that jazz shit's over now. We're gonna have to get guitars. Damn it.
I think that one would have been better if they went a little bit further back, because they did kind of tell like a backstory as to why they were close, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when they started and their first song, I don't know. It just seemed like it started.
Yeah, you could use another 20 minutes easily just to kind of set everything up. I think if they make a sequel to that, man, they gotta do the Battle of the Bands, where it's their band versus Max Rebo versus
the Mortal Nodes.
That would be good.
all the bands, and then that weird, was it the honey, the honeycomb guy that shows up in the special edition, like that guy, like, and they just pun him. Like, get out of here.
I want the Mortal Nodes to never actually be cool. Like, what? I mean, it's like we like it because it's like it exemplifies this whole thing. But
I really think that one they could they could play around with and make it a lot better.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't bad. I think they could play around with it a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. And that was one of the things. Also, like, I don't know if you guys messed with it, but I thought there was going to be like an obvious option to watch them in Japanese subtitled or in English.
I thought so too. In fact, when I first started watching the Duel, he starts off speaking Japanese, and then I was like, oh, did I click the wrong? And then he started speaking English.
Yeah.
And then I went back to look to see if there was an option, and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I think you have to go to. There is.
Yeah, you have to at the top. There's the closed captions.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
right up there is where the audio is. You would think the audio would be down where the sound option is, like on Netflix or any other normal streaming service. But for some reason, the powers that be at Disney is like, no. We're putting the audio options under the captions thing. So you can change. They have a ton of different audio languages.
Yeah.
So I watched the whole thing in Japanese.
Did
but
you?
I remember, yeah. So because I prefer the Japanese acting to
Snob.
American
You snob.
yeah, I prefer the country in which they animated it to do the voices. Like
USA. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. You know what? Yeah, that Fandom Menace has gotten to Jason. So that's why all that weird alt-right shit trends at 4 a.m.
If that was just their whole angle, they'd be a lot cooler, actually.
Yeah. But if you haven't watched it with the Japanese, if you're gonna watch it again, give it a shot. But it's up at the top right. Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
But
no, when I watch it again, I think I'm going to try it like that, just to say I did it. You know, I did watch it with the captions on.
I don't like to read.
No,
I don't, because I want to watch the visuals too.
Yeah.
So that's why I watched it in English, and then I'll go back and read it.
I used to be like Rob. And then I went to grad school and I was reading 500 pages a week. And I was like, I'm not going to read for fun at all. I'm not looking at anything written. And then I got out of grad school. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get past this. I'm going to go back to it. And then I had kids and they steal my soul a little bit more every day. And
well, Jason, I went to art college and I don't like looking at pictures anymore, so I just read the words.
Everyone's like, "You stupid."
That makes
American.
sense. What you're saying makes
as much sense as what you just said.
Yeah.
Like the guy who literally reads Kazanjian's book before we start a podcast is telling me he doesn't like to read. But okay, I didn't have enough time. I only read like most of the book. This long 30-page diatribe to go through. But sure, all right.
Seems right.
Okay.
Mark Hamilton says, laughing my ass off, Santa is now canon in the episode of Astro Boy who he hates. that is the legend of Darth Santa the Wise. Have you heard it? It's ironic.
Oh, he's the one that bots all the channels to get the toys before everyone else, and then charges 80% or 800% markup, right? So no one can get any toys anymore. They gotta go through Santa.
Santa controls the flows of power in the toy industry. But yeah, I was speaking of toys, I haven't caught anything. Has there been anything about there being like Black Series figures or anything?
There's supposed to be something from exclusively at Target, from what I read.
Okay.
From this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If I read it correctly. Yeah, it was a link that you sent, Jason.
Okay. I probably just didn't read it close enough. Yeah, I remember I sent it to you because you asked me, you're like, are they gonna make shirts or not? And I was like, yeah. I would think by October. And then like the very next day they were like, here's the shirts. And I was like, all right,
I want toys of this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, was not to be the contrarian, but I would bunny rabbit girl, whatever you want to call her, I can't remember her name. Lop. She that's a little piece of merchandise I would buy from this. I think she kind of exemplifies it. Her and Astro Boy
and Toby one, yeah.
I want that whole band. I love that hut in there, man, because he looks like that 90s grunge dude. He's got the glasses,
the hair.
I know he's a Nirvana fan.
I think he has a piercing. Well, did you notice that one of their names was like Curdy? I was like, was that a Is that a Nirvana reference or no?
Missed opportunity in that episode. The robot should have pulled the BB-8 lighter, and then everyone could have put their lighters up during like a ballad, right? like would have been a nice.
There should have been a post credits though. Curdy blew her head off in the pants.
No.
Sorry.
You had to do that. You wouldn't.
Sorry, but I mean, but no, but if you did you guys see that one shot where she's shooting up? sorry, no.
Who?
Curdy.
And then
Curdy, she's like mainlining black tar spice like in one shot. No, okay. No, I love Kurt Cobain. I don't think it's actually that funny, but he pisses me off that he was such a dummy. And so every now and then I make fun of him because you're a fucking idiot for doing that. Just the way it is. But
Jason gets real at 4 a.m.
At 4 a.m, I don't give a fuck. I'm not seeing any
Oh my
toys
god, it's almost
previewed
6
yet.
o'clock for me.
Hasbro are so late to get Star Wars toys to market. It'll be 12 to 18 months from now. Oh, so they'll get it out by the time that we are totally past it and moved on to the next thing.
Sadly, it's not just them. I was actually reading an article about how bad, like, so remember, like, not but 3 or 4 years ago, they were saying the toy market is dead because kids don't buy toys now. They buy games or DLC or skins or Fortnite.
That's pretty much true.
Well,
though.
now the toy market is in super demand, and now nobody can print toys because of COVID and the overseas and then shipping alone. Like they don't know how to do it anymore. Like,
yeah, during the sequel trilogy, there were lots of problems where like whole barges got stuck in places, and there were like Star Wars toys that just stuck there that they couldn't.
Right
get
now,
to...
there's 61 cargo ships off the LA.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, just stuck. 61.
Yeah. Like a bunch of the Rogue One stuff ended up at 99-cent stores because of that. You'll hear guys say it's because they put a character with a vagina in it, and that's why. Like they'll like really sell that idea. No, it actually had to do with most of it. They couldn't even get to the fucking store because they have this really bad mistake.
Well, they're gonna need to start manufacturing back here. You know, and don't be surprised if one of these studios builds their own manufacturing plant to make the toys. You know.
Yeah.
So,
but it is true. I want my kids to buy toys. I try to get them to. I'm like, let's buy toys, and they'll buy Legos, which are so fucking expensive for what they are. But action figures. If I give them action figures, they're into it, but they won't buy it. They just won't. They would rather buy Fortnite skins, and my kids are that. It's weird.
Can't wait for their game to go away one day, and they learn that lesson. My City of Heroes moment.
No, I thought about that. Fortnite's the only one I'm okay with because of the fact that it's sold. I think it's more. It's the biggest game of all time, so it's more than likely that one will have more longevity. They're likely to hit 20 years old and then get nostalgic for it and to have a second run. Honestly, but yeah.
I actually didn't. I didn't buy any of The Rise of Skywalker. No toys. Or The Mandalorian, I have like 2. And it was mostly because like there wasn't stuff. They were like secretive about, you know, the characters and stuff like that. And I was just like, whatever.
Well, they also like burned us really hard. They're like, oh, here's the black BB-8. You need this. You really need this guy. And then you watch the movie, and it's like the most irrelevant fucking. barely was of Gamorrean guard stature. And
but this is an opportunity for an anime to make a whole story out of that little evil BB-8, right? That BB-hate is what I like to call him.
BB-8.
And toy market is. That's so rude. You said toy markets are 35 to what?
35 to 50-year-olds.
I would stand to say that there's a lot of YouTube people who have a lot of toys behind them, and they ain't 50-year-olds. You know, so I think again, I thought the toy market was on the way out, but the article I read said that's not the case. So it isn't just people buying for collectors. There is something else. Now, I did buy that Hasbro Pulse Razor Crest like a year ago, and that's been delayed. They say till February or March. I'm assuming next summer, you know, just because of the shipping.
I don't know much about this stuff. I don't follow it that close. They did too much. They made us buy too much stuff.
They
Or
did.
not, they didn't make us. They offered too much stuff. But
Yeah.
it's also like the world has now realized that there used to be the people who are like, I have to buy one and keep it closed because it's going to be worth a lot of money, just like
no.
those Batman collector's cups I got. It's like, no, your Batman cups are never worth anything. Nothing is none of this shit is ever gonna be worth anything. And
Mhm.
so people are buying out of love for the moment. So if you make a Baby Yoda and you see Baby Yoda and you love Baby Yoda, you'll buy Baby Yoda underoos and and you'll buy Baby Yoda slippers and Baby Yoda forks and all kinds of stupid bullshit because you love it. But you're not going to do it based off of some character in the background of Rogue One that you
You know,
don't.
I don't
Yeah.
even have like an action figure of BB-8. I only have the
Mhm.
doll. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I can't find it anyway, like the actual toy. Real quick,
Yeah.
I'm reading from Star Wars. This is about Visions. In addition to heroes and villains, in addition, heroes and villains will reveal its own Star Wars Visions apparel collection later this month, which they posted on their Instagram. For those hoping for some collectibles, an exclusive assortment will come to Target later at a later date.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
shit,
I just want
whenever that.
toys.
I do
I want some
too.
figures.
I want
You know,
those toys.
I bet you it's for, in Target, you have like that back wall where they put like the Back to the Future toys, like the Gremlins are there.
Oh, the NECA wall.
I wonder if that stuff is going to be part of like that like
I'm afraid
kinda,
that it's just going to be Funko Pops because they don't want to spend the time creating molds that look unique to the style of the anime. That
That
they'll
would be
cheap out and just do Funkos. Like
it would be
I
really
want,
cool if they did.
yeah, but I want something that looks like like I
yeah,
like the
yeah,
Like
animated styles
yeah,
are
yeah,
different.
yeah. That's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I'm just saying that
Of,
I fear they won't though.
no,
Mm.
from like the actual shorts
Right.
to look like
Yeah.
that, unless they have the Japanese toy studios, whatever,
Then they're
making
$100 a pop.
those, right?
But
Probably.
but I mean, like with what Mark Hamilton's saying, if it is 35 to 50-year-olds that are primarily playing in that market, they might as well roll it all back and make that shit super expensive and detailed. I mean, do like basically equivalent of what's not Hot Toys, but what are the Japanese really nice Star Wars figures called? You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember what they are, but they're like super rad. They're like kind of like a 6-inch, like a Black Series figures, but they don't suck all
Yeah,
the time, anyways.
and they're really expensive.
Yeah, they're more expensive. I think they're imported, and because somebody else has like the license,
I think, and it was I think they've already made like a couple of like Darth Vader samurai style and stuff
Oh,
like that.
like those ones, yeah, yeah. But these are like an alternate Black Series. Mark Hamilton probably knows what I'm talking about if he's still here.
Mark Hamilton, can you tell us?
Yeah, Mark Hamilton, tell us.
This is a
What if
great name.
what if Mark Hamilton is actually? What if it's Mark Hamill?
You know, the funny thing is, I call Mark Hamilton. I'm not
But he
lying.
sings
I
all the
do.
time, so it has to be Mark Hamilton. Like when Mark Hamill sings, he's Mark Hamilton.
Makes sense.
That's why, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so yeah, I guess we'll call this an episode. And later on tonight, Max is gonna come back and we're gonna go over some of Max's in Star Wars inspired fashion,
Yeah.
which is neat because you do some pretty creative shit. I gotta say, when I say shit, I don't mean it's shit. I mean as in
Thanks.
stuff, as in I got a potty mouth, and yeah, I remember the Praetorians and the Inquisitor stuff that you pulled from in the past too, like from like using that stuff to make something new. I was like, this is pretty fucking creative.
Yeah.
Pretty neat stuff.
Whatever
So
comes out new of Star Wars, I want to use it.
we will. So we're gonna
Talk about it
we're gonna
later.
talk about that stuff after we sleep and recuperate and live a whole another day.
It's 6:00 in the morning here.
Yeah. So let's go to bed and go to sleep and forget this ever happened. No, I'm just kidding. And then and let Mr. Sketchcraft go back to work and yeah, because I am done. I am tired. I don't even remember how to stop the show. That's how tired I am.
We
I
need
guess
a carbonite filter for you, so it just freezes everyone to carbonite.
Yeah.
And that's the end.
All right. I'll see you guys in a while. Thanks everybody for staying up with us, and we'll see you about 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I think.
It's not about spaceships. Making Star Wars Show.